Ex-Offenders Desk will be launched in Patensie in the Eastern Cape today. The initiative by the Justice and Correctional Services Department is aimed at identifying the role that ex-offenders can play within communities to curb criminality. To find out how this initiative will work, we cross live to our reporter Abongile Dumako, who's at the launch. Abongile, good to talk to you. If we look at statistics for that part of the country, it points to issues of substance abuse. So this initiative is a good starting point to manage change in society, and that's essentially about social reintegration.
Good afternoon to you, Natasha, and of course we are live from Patensie in the Eastern Cape, in the outskirts of this province, a farming area that is dominant in as far as citrus farming is concerned. Well, of course, it's been launched here. It's called the Lighthouse, which was initially a pub that was actually, being used by many here for substance and alcohol abuse, which is rather prevalent as having been one of the disadvantages that this area is faced with. But now there's hope for change as the Lighthouse, which is an ex-offenders desk, is being launched today. And to tell us more about this event, we are joined by Mama Pum Lamatibela. She's from Correctional Services. Ma'am, good afternoon and thank you so much for your time. Tell us more about your being here today and why specifically Patensie here in the Eastern Cape.
We are here in Patensie in the Eastern Cape for our Deputy Minister of Justice and Correctional Services to launch the ex-offender desk, which is a lighthouse here in Patensie. The ex-offender desk is one of the first that we are launching in the country since the ex-offender conference that was held in last year in July. So the Deputy Minister had asked us as Community Corrections to begin to establish those ex-offender desks around the country. So Patensie is one of the first.
And then basically, what criteria are you going to use or are you using, for you to be able to determine that this particular ex-offender sort of qualifies or deserves, to come and attend to a desk of this nature?
As I alluded before to the resolutions of the ex-offender conference of last year in July, there were 9 resolutions that were taken at that conference. The establishment of ex-offender desk is the first of the resolutions, and the ex-offender desks are supposed to be serving ex-offenders in a particular management area and probationers and parolees. So our criteria basically is people who have served their sentences in our facilities, that is our correctional centers, and once they are released from the correctional centers, either by parole or have they completed their sentence or they are still serving their sentences as probationers, they are then going to be the people who are going to be the beneficiaries of the ex-offender desk.
And finally, ma'am, tell us more about festivities that are going to take place in an area of this nature that is now Human Store here in the Eastern Cape with regards to the launch of another ex-offender center. What's going to happen? And probably tell us more of some of the projects to take place nationally. Today,
particularly, after the Deputy Minister has cut the ribbon and opened the ex-offender desk, this afternoon the Deputy Minister is expected to go to Jeffreys Bay to cut the ribbon and open another center where it's going to benefit 30 ex-offenders and other members of the community in Jeffreys Bay. It's a desk of a similar nature, and it is a house that used to be a 4-roomed house, but now it has been expanded by our ex-offenders, parolees and probationers to be an accommodation for 30 people. So what we are going to be doing, the Deputy Minister has made a call that all the 9 resolutions of the conference need to be implemented, ex-offender desk being one, and is going to be followed in order of priority by some mini conferences in regions where we are going to be having ex-offenders talking about the roles they are going to be playing in combating crime. And another priority for the Deputy Minister and ex-offenders themselves is about employability and economic sustainability of ex-offenders. That is in terms of work, in terms of starting their own businesses, and in terms of coming up with their own cooperatives.
Thank you so much, Mama, for your time.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it, Natasha, Mama. Matibela from the Correctional Services, bringing us, updating us as to what are some of the programs that are to take place in this province. Well, from the hot, sizzling hot Patensie, it's back to you in studio in Johannesburg.
Thank you very much. Our reporter Abongile Dumako live from Patensie in the Eastern Cape. Well, staying in